jars are made for filling, and they don't fill themselves. And a lot of times we're just like jars, where we experience emptiness at different levels. And some of us experience deep emptiness, completely empty, completely in despair. But we have to remember that whatever life takes away, God gives. See, God is a filler of empty spaces. And Jesus is the picture of what that means. And the Welcome Home Project, Beauty from Ashes, was a picture of what that means. What it means to follow in his footsteps. See, Jesus fills with unmerited favor. It's called grace. And that's what Grace delivered during our Welcome Home Project. You know, we could run through the entire gospel and the whirlwind of people, of healings, of miracles that Jesus did. The women at the well, the running out of wine and filling it, resurrection of a child, filling that child with life. If you look at the gospel over and over again in all of these stories, there is one message. And that message is Jesus fills. But he doesn't just fill empty spaces. He fills those spaces with joy and abundance. And that was the picture of Beauty from Ashes. See, God sent Jesus and invited us to a great banquet, just like the story of Luke 14:16 through 24. A great banquet that is his kingdom, his life. God wants us to have a filled life. You and I have a filled life to share with others. And that's exactly what happened during the weekend of our Welcome Home Project, Beauty from Ashes. A transformation. The jar was filled. You know, and you can't manage God. We can make all the plans in the world, but God has a plan. And over that weekend, I watched that plan unfold. A plan that I did not entirely see. One of the plans included the garage, that someone very special came and saw a vision for that space so that Mom could have the studio that she needs for her clothing line. And not only was it in her vision, but that vision became a reality. That was such a beautiful gift. During the process, we realized there was a lot more to be done than we anticipated. As always, see, God always invites us to do things that we cannot do by ourselves. Someone asked me, why do you do what you do? I said, we do the things we cannot do. That's what the church needs to be doing. The church needs to do the things they know they cannot do, because when they are done, everyone will see God. So Saturday I realized I don't know what we're going to do. But I didn't have to worry about that because God sent perfect people to spend the entire day on Saturday just to be in preparation for the actual transformation. And people worked long and hard through a lot of problems that we were unaware of. But God brought the people, brought the strength, and brought the resources to make that happen. And all the people coming together, it didn't matter how long, and it didn't matter how hard. Why? Because not only does Jesus fill those that are empty because of despair, but Jesus also fills those who are empty to receive. See, when we empty ourselves of ourselves, we make room for Him. And when we join experiences like Welcome Home, we pour out ourselves and let God fill us. And it's transforming to us. And it was amazing to watch every single person just allow God to fill them and to create such beauty. I didn't know we had time for floors. Floors happened. I didn't know we had time to rip out carpet and do something about that entire situation. It happened. I didn't know how all the mattresses and the beds and the bedding were going to be replaced. It happened. I didn't know how so many things were going to get done. It felt overwhelming, and that is when we know it's a God-sized assignment. The city providing 2 dumpsters. Yet all of it was accomplished. It was accomplished in God's time, and it was accomplished in God's way. 1, 2, 3. Welcome home. This is Denise. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it gorgeous? And look at your landscaping.
I see that.
And when Denise came home to that beauty, she was an empty jar. She was empty because of her own despair. And when she walked in that door, that beautiful door that was painted so beautifully, and a beautiful landscape front entrance that we had 0 plans to do. Yet, God did have a plan, because God wanted her to enter beauty at the door. And when she walked in and saw so much of grace poured out from her living room, people painted in the night. And then for some reason we had extra paint and they just kept on going. The transformation was phenomenal that she witnessed. What did she witness? She witnessed her jar being filled with joy and abundance. See, when He asks us to come to a banquet, He doesn't just fill. He gives the very best. And that day she walked into God's best. From that transformed bathroom and all the plumbing that was so difficult, to the beautiful bedroom, to all new beds and bedding, new doors, new furniture, beautiful bedroom for her daughter with a beautiful picture on the wall that said, "So loved." And her son's room, for the very first time, her son was so excited. He sat on the bed and said, "This is the best gift ever." I have never seen a child so excited. They had a clean and organized and brand new environment. A beautiful kitchen and dining area, a beautiful studio. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Listen, God can bring beauty from ashes. And He's bringing you beauty, and He's reclaiming this space for you and your family. And I think the final moment that you see how God can fill and transform. He can take ashes to beauty. is when she stood at the back door that she had not walked out of in 2 years. And it was hard. And she held on to me tight, and she was trembling. But in that moment was a crisis of belief. In that moment, everything she did after that said everything about the power and love of God. And everyone was waiting for her, just like at a beautiful banquet. And when we opened those curtains, that's what she saw, a beautiful banquet. And the fear emptied. And God filled her through our hands, filled her with hope, filled her with joy, filled her with favor, filled her with beauty. God took ashes and turned them to beauty. And He uses our hands. He fills our jar. He filled her jar. And that's what Jesus does. He fills us and others. And that's what happened during the Welcome Home Project. God brings beauty from ashes. I don't care how much pain we have. And He uses people to restore our lives. And every person here helped participate in transforming. And we want you to know that we love you. You're not invisible. You matter. Your children matter. This message on our shirts, and this message is so simple, and it is so God. And that are the words, you matter. We're not attaching anything else to it, nothing. And that is what we need to be about. Simply, you matter. And our actions need to illustrate that. And when we empty ourselves and make room for God, and He fills us, we are a walking example of the message He wants to deliver, especially to those who suffer. And that is, you matter. You matter, especially to Him.